Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're just doing a couple snacks, nothing too crazy. We're starting out with some banana bread today, and it is the best banana recipe I have ever found. And it turned out so good. I wanted banana bread so bad. I had to tell my husband not to eat the bananas. But in this recipe today, we are starting out with 2 sticks of softened butter. I melted mine in the microwave a little bit. And we're also going to do 3/4 cup of brown sugar. And you're going to want to mix those together and kind of cream them together as best as you can. Of course, you can always use your mixer. I get mine out eventually when I realize I don't want to work that hard. This recipe calls for 4 bananas, but as you can see, I only have 3 right there. I did not have that 4th banana, but I really wanted some banana bread, so I went ahead and made it anyway with just 3 bananas. It turned out all right. Could have been more banana-y, but it was still pretty good. But I'm going to cream all this butter and sugar together as best as I can without the mixer. And then once I get those all mixed together, I'm going to add in 2 eggs. I'm adding these eggs in so carefully because recently when I do eggs, I have been getting the tiniest pieces of shells in there. And see, I still did. So I had to dig that out. And so I get these 2 eggs in here. And did you know that eggshells can help to sharpen your garbage disposal blades slightly? You don't want to add a bunch of eggshells at once, just a couple every once in a while to sharpen up the blades. And I think it helps. But anyway, I'm gonna mix these eggs in really good. Now, once I get the eggs mixed in, you're gonna need 1/3 cup of Greek yogurt, plain Greek yogurt, or some sour cream. I did not have Greek yogurt, I used sour cream. So you'll add in your sour cream or your Greek yogurt and you're going to mix that in as well. Once you get all that mixed together, you're going to add those bananas that you have. My bananas weren't quite ripe enough yet, but I really wanted some banana bread, so I wanted to make it. They could have been a little bit more ripe. But they still weren't bad to use, so I went ahead and used them anyway. I'm adding in this last banana, and then I start to kind of try and chop them up and realize, oh yeah, the mixer. I really needed that. I should have started from the beginning with the mixer, and I just didn't, so I just used my hand mixer. I hate dirtying up more dishes because I wash them, you know, so many times a day. You're supposed to mash up your bananas and then mix them in separately, but why do that when you can just do it this way? After that, you're going to add about a teaspoon of vanilla extract and mix it in, and then you're going to start with your dry ingredients. And the dry ingredients for this, which again, you're supposed to do in a separate bowl, but why more dishes? So 2 cups of flour, and then a teaspoon with baking soda. And you guys, when I got this baking soda out of the cabinet, I dropped it and it exploded everywhere. It was a disaster. Anyway, 2 teaspoons, not tablespoons, of baking soda. Next, you'll do maybe about 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. And you're welcome to add as much cinnamon as you want. You can add just a teaspoon, a tablespoon, or, you know, if you like a lot of cinnamon, then add a lot of cinnamon. I just added what I thought looked good, and it came out delicious. And you can also add nuts to this recipe. Pecans or walnuts would have been really good. Do you say pecans or pecans? I say pecans. But anyway, you can do pecans or walnuts. I like to do walnuts, but I didn't have any, unfortunately. Otherwise, I definitely would have put them in here. You didn't see me pan them up, but you definitely want to spray your pans, and it makes a lot. So I did some mini muffins, and then I also did a loaf pan. I did a banana loaf. So that's them in the oven, and you put the oven at 350 degrees. You do the muffins for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then you do the loaf pan for 25 minutes, and then you'll cover it and do it for about another 25 to 30 minutes, 25 to 30 minutes. Next, we're going to be doing what I like to call energy bites. I don't know why I call them energy bites, but that's what I call them. You can find this recipe in many different variations on the internet. Most of them call for like ground flaxseed or regular flaxseed. I never have flaxseed. I never really use it. I don't mind flaxseed, but I don't have any, so I never put it in here. And I like to make these for my husband to have as just a quick and easy snack to have at night. He's a night snacker, and he's also a diabetic, and he loves peanut butter, eats peanut butter every night, and hurts his stomach. So I make these, and then I also pre-portion them, so that way he only has to grab one, maybe two. It doesn't affect his sugar too much, and he's all set for that, and I have them all week. So I start out with 2 cups of oats, and then I'm doubling this recipe, so it's 2 cups of oats and then 1 cup of peanut butter. If you're making just one batch, which should make about 12 portions, it's 1 cup of oats and then a half of cup of peanut butter. After you add in that peanut butter, you're going to add in some honey, and I believe I did, half a cup of honey for mine. I like to use wildflower honey when I use honey. I don't like clover honey. So you do half a cup of honey, and again, I'm doubling this recipe. So if it's not doubled, you're going to do just a 1/4 cup of honey. After the honey, you're going to want about, I'd say a 1/4 cup to a half a cup of coconut. You can use sweetened or unsweetened coconut. This is unsweetened coconut, and I added just what I thought looked good to me. It's your kitchen, do what you want. I did add a little bit too much coconut to this recipe, but that's just my husband's opinion. It was fine for me. So just do what you think looks good for coconut, and next you'll do chocolate chips. And the same with that. Anywhere from a 1/4 cup to a half a cup per batch that you're making. I'm doubling this, so I added about a cup of chocolate chips. And then you'll mix it all together, and it is a stiff mixture. So you'll just want to mix it as best as you can with your elbow grease. I guess you could try and use a mixer if you want to with it, but I just used my hands in this case. And like I said, it is a stiff mixture, but it's still kind of soft. You'll want to put it in your freezer or refrigerator for some time just to get it to harden up a little bit before you portion it out. Did you catch the taste test there? Who wouldn't want to taste test it? You could, of course, eat it out of the bowl if you want to, but I like to pre-portion mine. That way we do not overeat them, or we will sit and eat a lot. These things are so good. But I use a cookie scoop to portion mine out and then roll it into a ball. And then I just put it into a container to either keep in the freezer or in the refrigerator, depending on how you prefer it. It's really good as a cool snack for the summertime if you keep them in the freezer. If you keep them in the refrigerator, they are a little bit softer and easier to eat. When I'm over you, can't you tell by the look on my face that I will never smile for you, smile for you, smile for you, smile for you. It's been chaos from the start. Can't believe I made it this far. Guess I needed it to see who you really are. Breaker of hearts, yeah. You made your bed, now lie in it, baby. Rest your head, let it dream about me. Cause I'm fed up with you crazy. mixture I left in the freezer for just a little bit too long. I had left the house to pick my daughter up from school and run an errand, so I had to break it up with a fork just a little bit before scooping it out. You know, things happen. And it's just fine. They rolled out again just fine. No big deal.
Can't you tell by the look on my face that I will never smile for you, smile for you, smile for you, smile for you. I will never smile for you. I will never smile for you. You made your bed, now lie in it, baby. Rest your head, let it dream about me. Cause I'm fed up with you crazy. I will never smile for you, smile for you, smile for you, smile for you. Yeah. I will never cry for you, cry for you, cry for you, cry for you. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Why do you expect me to when I'm over you? Can't you tell by the look on my face that I will never smile for you, smile for you, smile for you, smile for you. Yeah. I will never smile for you.
And there you have it. I had about 24 of them portioned out there, and they were delicious. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like button.